Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. St. Vincent and the Grenadines' Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves overcome by emotion at the region's kindness to his people. This story takes the lead in a 1088th edition of Caribbean Perspective for Monday, 12th April 2021. Details after this break.
Hubbard's big promotion is back. Live free for 1 year. Spend $50 or more in any Hubbard's department and receive a chance to win big prizes every month. Property or vehicle insurance for 1 year. Free internet, cable and data for 1 year. Free fuel for 1 year. Free cooking gas for 1 year. Free electricity for 1 year. Free drinks for 1 year. Extra cash account and the big free groceries for 1 year. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2021. Live free for 1 year with Hubbard's in association with Solgas, Flow, Grenadian General Insurance, Carib Brewery, Coca-Cola, Grenada Bottling Company, Grenelec, Communal Cooperative Credit Union, Dutch Lady Milk, Promo, Danny and Supreme. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves is overwhelmed with the outpouring of support from countries around the region. SVG is now facing the perils of the eruption of the La Soufrière volcano, with thousands forced to evacuate. Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada, St. Lucia, Dominica, Trinidad and Tobago are among OECS and CARICOM countries which have offered to assist actively with evacuees.
I've spoken to one of the cruise lines leadership this morning, and I must tell you the way in which people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and in ordinary people, and in Grenada, and in Dominica, St. Lucia, and Antigua have responded to put people in their homes, strangers, bring tears to my eyes. I love this Caribbean.
In related news, the new dome that was formed in the crater of La Soufrière for months was blown off in the explosive eruptions, sending at least 13 million cubic meters of material into the atmosphere. Volcanologist Professor Richard Robertson, who is leading the team of scientists working together to monitor La Soufrière, indicated that from a satellite image obtained, where the material is coming out, where the new dome was being formed, where it originally came out, it now has nothing there. It has an opening, and that is where material is now coming out, and that's going up in the air. It seems that the substantial amount of 2021 dome has gone. It's been destroyed. It seems that all the black 915 feet length piece of bits of rock, all that 13 million cubic meters of material has mainly been destroyed in the activity that we've had so far. It doesn't appear that it has done very much to the 1979 dome so far, but it's one satellite imagery. It's not clear what it actually shows, but certainly there is a hole now, a proper vent from which material is being ejected, he further stated on NBC Radio on Saturday morning. There were 3 explosive eruptions on Friday, posted on the University of the West Indies Seismic Research Center's page, and continuous ash venting. Because of the texture of the lava, there will be no lava flows, but the pieces of material jetting into the air may possibly collapse as pyroclastic flows or dense, fast-moving, solidified lava pieces, volcanic ash and hot gases. The scientists don't know, as yet, how much material the volcano has to work with, as they don't know the size of the magma chamber. To gain more information, they will over the next couple of days be analyzing the ash and gases. Comparing this eruption to the last eruption in 1979, Robertson said, "I will be surprised if it's not at least that scale. So if you use that as the bottom mark, that is where I'm starting from. I don't think it's going to be less than that. It's probably going to be more than that from what I'm seeing in terms of the size and the amount of material to come out." The director of the Tobago Emergency Management Agency, meantime, Alan Stewart, says the agency has been monitoring the developments in St. Vincent, even as residents living in the danger zone continue to evacuate as ordered by the government. More in this Elizabeth Williams TV6 report.
Ash cloud above the volcano is estimated as 10 kilometers high, with ash raining down as far as the Argyle International Airport, less than 20 kilometers away. TEMA's director Alan Stewart told TV6 there are lessons to be learnt from this, inclusive of being prepared and having an evacuation plan.
Process of doing a safe evacuation. And I think the people of St. Vincent and the government of St. Vincent and also NEMO, to be exact, needs to be commended for their excellent effort.
Mr. Stewart said with the ash cloud traveling east, its effects can be felt in the surrounding islands, as he showed TV6 on a map.
Places like Barbados, and this will affect planes, this will affect air quality, and these are things that we have to look out for as to how this may affect even neighboring islands in the Caribbean.
Mr. Stewart said TEMA continues to remain in communication with the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency and the National Emergency Management Office, NEMO, to also track nationals of Trinidad and Tobago who might be affected by the La Soufrière eruption.
Establish what you call a high-frequency link with St. Vincent Emergency Operations Center, and also under the guidance of the CDEMA, which is the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, guidelines, the coordinating unit. We are working along with them to ensure that our communications with the island is on par, and that has been going quite well.
Elizabeth Williams, TV6 News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
As evacuees from neighboring St. Vincent and the Grenadines race to safety, the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic is not lost on officials in St. Lucia, worried about the spread of the coronavirus. Solange Alfred of HTS News Force reports.
Will Vincentians be subjected to compulsory vaccination upon entry into St. Lucia? The burning question was posed to Health Disaster Coordinator in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Dr. Glensford Joseph.
So will it be mandated that before they enter they must be vaccinated?
In St. Lucia, the policy surrounding vaccination is that it is a voluntary basis. Once persons come to St. Lucia, the policies that we have will be applicable to citizens and residents of St. Lucia.
Joseph says vaccination on island remains a voluntary decision. However, health officials will continue to promote and advocate of the importance of efficacy and effectiveness of vaccinations.
We will continue to drive our awareness campaign, our educational strategy to really inform and educate persons so that they can make an informed decision as to accepting the vaccine. While that is being said, we are going to continue all the public health measures and protocols that are so established to curtail and prevent the spread of COVID-19, not only among the St. Lucians and the residents of St. Lucia, but also the potential evacuees.
The Health Disaster Coordinator says St. Lucia has not missed a beat in preparing for potential evacuees amid the ongoing pandemic.
We do know that we have potential evacuees who are coming to St. Lucia. Some of them are vaccinated based on the information we are getting out of St. Vincent. And like St. Lucia, many may not have gone through that phase as yet. So it is a continuous process, and St. Lucia stands ready to provide the level of support needed when it comes to vaccination.
A double whammy for evacuees whose future remains uncertain and for those still mulling whether to take the vaccine. But assurance has been given by St. Lucia authorities that no one will be compelled to do so. However, evacuees will be subjected to quarantine and testing protocols. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.
Guyana's Attorney General's notion is misconceived, is how Attorney-at-Law Roysdale Ford describes the claim made by Anil Nandlal that the Court of Appeal does not have jurisdiction to preside over Election Petition 99. More in this report with PHGP's Wendell Badri.
The Shadow Minister of Legal Affairs in the National Assembly, who spoke with this newscast on Thursday, expressed the view that the Attorney General, Anil Nandlal's motion that the Court of Appeal does not have jurisdiction to hear the appeal before it in relation to Election Petition 99 is flawed.
Heard what the Attorney General is saying, but I believe that he's misconceived, and the argument that he will advance to the court is without merit.
Ford asserted that the petitioners who represent the APNU AFC has every right to appeal the decision of the Chief Justice, Madam Roxanne George, who dismissed the petition in January on the grounds of late service on the second named respondent to the petition, David Granger.
I believe that we have a right of appeal which is afforded to us by the Constitution and relevant legislation which provide for an appeal to the Court of Appeal.
Attorney for the petitioners, Mayor Robertson, had expressed to this newscast that while it should not have occurred, late service is a common error. He, however, noted that it could have been rectified otherwise, given that Granger is not in opposition to the petition. The attorney subsequently filed an appeal at the Court of Appeal against the Chief Justice's ruling. In March, Nandlal filed a notice of motion to strike out the appeal for Petition 99, citing that the appeal court did not have jurisdiction to hear the petition on the grounds of Article 163(3) of the Constitution, which he said only allows for an appeal to a petition that has been dismissed for granting or refusal to grant leave. Nandlal further stated that since the petition was dismissed on the grounds of impropriety and the questions contained in the petition were never heard, the Court of Appeal's jurisdiction is limited.
Therefore, the Court of Appeal does not have jurisdiction to hear that appeal, because the Court of Appeal only has jurisdiction to hear a determination of these issues made by a High Court judge.
Petition 99, which was filed in September 2020, alleges that there was gross misconduct during the course of the 2020 general and regional elections, including but not limited to voter impersonation, dead voters, and missing statutory documents for several ballot boxes. Ford remains resolute that the Court of Appeal will find that it has jurisdiction to hear the petitioner's case. The case management conference for the appeal to Petition 99 is set for April 14, 2021. The appellate court must first establish that it has jurisdiction to hear the case before it can proceed. Wendell Badri, HGP Nightly News.
Did you know that your friends and family can now shop at the Food Fair from anywhere in the world, and you can receive here in Grenada? The Food Fair and GrenadaMarket.com now make it possible through secure online shopping and personalized customer service. Simply send your loved ones a list of your preferred items or let them fill an online basket, and the items will be available for pickup or delivery. Visit GrenadaMarket.com or thefoodfair.gd today for more details. The new norm. Spread the news. I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.